Good morning, Level 7A. Welcome back to our online class. Well, it is another beautiful day. Okay, so today's online class, we're going to do something a little bit different, okay? But before we do some little thing that is different, we are going to do a review, always, okay? So, what day is it today? Can we tell? Okay, today is Tuesday, everybody. Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. Now today we're going to focus on Speaking Tutor 1A in our first section. Okay, so please make sure that you all have these books in your hand because this morning we're going to play some games, okay? All right, before we go on to play the games, we are going to do our review first, okay? So remember, actually, who can remember what we did yesterday in our class on Monday? Okay, anybody? Good, because I've already written it here. I love my job. So the last session we did about I love my job. Okay, so I love my job. What do we mean by I love my job? What does actually, what the title, what actually means? What's the title really means when it says I love my job? Okay, yeah, so you love something you do, yeah? So when you go to work, or you do something as a businessman or businesswoman, or you own something, it's part of your job. So that's what you really love, okay? It's your passionate, okay? Right, so I love my job, yeah? And what else did we learn about it? I love my job? We learned about the vocabulary. Okay, let's go through our vocabulary and tell me if you remember what each vocab means, okay? If you don't remember, it's okay. I still gonna remind you anyway. All right, the first word is businessman. Repeat, businessman. Construction worker, construction worker. Doctor, doctor. Nurse, nurse. Architect, architect. Writers, writers. Computer programmer, computer programmer. One more time, businessman, construction worker, doctor, nurse, architect, writers, computer programmer. Okay, so what is a businessman? What does a businessman do? Well, yes, a businessman is a businessman, but a businessman also owns a business and work in a company, okay? So he always wear nice clothes. So he wears suits, he wear nice suits, he wear tie, okay? So he looks very, very smart, okay? So, for example, if you were to open your book onto page 50, you will see the number 4, the picture number 4 guy. He is the businessman, okay? Businessman. Okay, what about construction worker? Construction worker. Construction worker. Okay, so people who works in the building and build, right? So for example, he or she also may work in building a apartment, building houses, building a resort. So people who are involved into building constructions, they are called construction workers. Okay? What about doctor? A doctor. What does a doctor means? Okay, so a doctor means it's a male who works in a hospital or in a clinic that helps to cure people. Okay? So he's a profession in curing people, yeah? Looks after people to make people feel better. Okay, so if you're sick, you go to the hospital and you go to see a doctor. Good. Nurse. Nurse. A nurse, what is a nurse again? Yeah, okay, that's okay. A nurse is a female person who works on the side, alongside with the doctor. She helps the doctor to provide the medical things, okay? So she could also be called as a doctor's assistant, okay? She's a nurse. She's also can help people cure people as well, all right? Architect. Architect. What is an architect? Okay, so an architect is a person who works into drawing and planning buildings for constructions, okay? So an architect is a person who draws and help to plan for constructing buildings, okay? So for example, if you were to wanting to build a house, you would ask an architect to design your house and then you build your house, okay? You cannot just build your own house without consulting with an architect. Writers. Writers. What does writers do? Well, writers, what do? Easy. They make books, they write poems, they write stories, they write animations, okay? So all of these are called writers. There's also a little bit of author. Computer programmer. Computer programmer. What does that computer programmer do? Well, computer programmer are people who are setting up programs on computer, okay? So people who are actually working closely with computer, like building websites, setting up a site for example, if you were to open a business, you would need a computer programmer to set up your business for you, yeah? So this is called a computer programmer. Right, let's move on. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna do something a little bit weird and different. You see, you're gonna ask me, why teacher, you have so blank? You don't write anything. It's okay, because today we're gonna play games, okay? We're gonna play a quick game, right? So, this is called a dialogue practice, right? So, we have to do a role play dialogue with two people and follow the different path each time. If you want to know better, you can actually go to page 52 of your speaking tutor, because the game is actually coming from there, okay? So page 52 on your speaking tutor, okay? Right. So what we need to do, going to draw a picture. So let's say we're gonna ask somebody a question. So for example, I'm gonna say Linda. I'm gonna talk to Linda, okay? So Linda is my friend, right? Linda. So my first question to Linda would be, hi Linda. Are you happy with your job? Are you happy with your job? So now the story is divided into two, or actually into three. Okay, so now we're gonna go down. Okay, we're gonna say sometimes, or what? Yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Okay, so hi Linda, are you happy with your job? Linda can say, what can Linda say? Well, she has three choices, okay? So you can make your own one, okay? With this game, you can make your own one. It doesn't not necessarily has to be exactly what I do on the board or in the book, okay? You can make your own. Okay, so sometimes, yes I am, no I'm not. So Linda can say, sometimes, I'm gonna mark it different color. Sometimes, okay, so Linda says sometimes. Okay, what else can you say? So then you're gonna ask another question. Is it ever boring to you? Is it ever boring? Okay, so the next question would ask, is it ever boring? What does boring means actually? What does boring means? Boring means when you just go, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I don't like this work. Oh, it's not interesting. Don't want to do it. Okay, so this is boring. Right, so is it ever boring? So you can say, You have 3 options, remember? So you can write down whatever you want with this game to play with your friend. So you can choose to play with your friend or your sister at home, or your brother, or your mom, or your dad, okay, or your grandma, if they all speak English. Excellent, okay? Is it ever boring to you? So we use no, no, never, or you say what? No, never, or yes, often. Remember the word often? Oh yes. Yes. From time to time. Okay? Right. So hi Linda, are you happy with your job? So the answers that Linda gives could be sometimes, yes I am, no I'm not. So you can choose one, okay? So for Linda here, she chooses sometimes. Okay, then what else could be the question? You could put any question down, it doesn't matter. So what do you usually do in the office? What do you do in the office? Okay, then she or he would say nothing, busy, or you can say boring. So what do you do? What do you usually do in the office? Well, she can tell me nothing, or she can be very busy, or she's boring in the office, okay? Or she's bored in the office, right? So this one, forgot to circle the first one. From time to time, and then she gets very busy. Okay, so this question goes on and on and on and on and on, okay? So you can make up this game with your family, okay? You don't even have to just do the job part. You don't have to do that I love my job part or talking about job. You can talk about anything. A day at school, you can talk about your food, you can talk about a day out, you can talk about your weekend using this kind of diagram, okay? So not necessarily you have to talk about my job, all right? Okay, moving on. Today we're going to do an interview questions vocabulary part of using how, would, are, what, is, do, and where. Right. Remember in our previous section we talked about these words as well. Okay, so how do we use how and when do we use how? How is asking for a feeling. So how are you? Okay. What about would? How do we use would? Can you make an example for would? Yes, of course, would is a polite word. Would you like something? Okay, so that's a good example. Yeah, would you like an apple? Would. What about are? Are is more like a questions asking about belongings, okay? So, for example, are these your books? Okay, are these your books? Okay, what? What can ask in many different ways, okay? So can ask for direction, can asking about names, asking for objects, asking for options. Okay, so would be the first example could be, what is your name? The next one is, what does is ask? Is a type of question that asks for an answer, yes or no. Okay, so for example, is this your pen? Then the answer could be, yes it is, or no it isn't. Good. Okay, good. Do is also asking for questions of information, or asking question is a yes or no answer questions too. All right, so for example, do you know where she lives? Do you know where she lives? So this is asking for directions of, about who? About she. It's a girl, her, okay? So asking about her, where she lives. Now this is getting interesting with where. Where is just basically asking for directions or place. Okay? Direction or place. So for example, I can give you 2 to 3 examples. So example 1, where is your house? Where is your mom? Where is the market? Yeah? So where's your house? Asking for what? Asking for directions. Where's your mom? So just wanting to know where the mom is. So we ask, so the answer could be, my mom is in the kitchen. My mom is having a shower. My mom is cooking. My mom is gone to the market. Okay, so just telling where your mom is. So where is, I forgot, is the market? Where is the market? Okay, so these are all the vocabulary asking about how, would, are, what, is, do, where. Now, if you want to do your practice exercise in your notebook, in your exercise book, in your textbook, in fact, you should go to page 53 and complete the questions there. Okay, it helps you. Interview question, fill in the question words, then select an answer with your buddy. If you don't have a friend, you can do it by yourself. It's easy. You can also create the answer of your own if you wish. So, if you were to do this, you can actually go to page 53 in your speaking tutor, and you can complete this for your part of your class exercise. Okay? Right. Let's move to our class practice. Always. Always do class practice, huh? Use how, would, are, what, where, and do to complete the questions below. Okay, number 1. Something, you have a pen. So if I'm asking for something, what word would I put? Would I put where you have a pen? Or do I put how you have a pen? Ah, okay. Do. Very good. Do you have a pen? Number 2. Something is your school. Do I say what is your school? Or what is your school? Because if I'm asking for direction, I put where. Good. Number 3. Something are you doing now? Something are you doing now? Something are you doing now? So, where are you doing now? Or what are you doing now? Or how are you doing now? I would definitely put what, because I'm asking for specific questions about the moment in time on what you are doing. Okay, so it's what are you doing now? Okay, the next one. Something you like some coffee. Number 4, something you like some coffee. Where you like some coffee? Are you like some coffee? Or would you like some coffee? Which one do you think is the correct answer? Not really, but okay. So what would be the right answers? Would, right? Would. Okay, the last one. So, the last one would be a question of asking for a specific answers. Okay, so it's a yes or no answer question. So number 5, something you married. Something you married. So what would you say? How you married? Would you married? What you married? Are you married? Or where you married? Or do you married? It's where. No? Is it where? It's are. Correct. So are you married? The answer would be yes, I am, or no, I'm not. Okay? All right. So I hope that you understand all these vocabulary interview questions. Please make sure to complete your dialogue practice game with your family at home and show to your teachers, okay? And also don't forget to do your review, okay? All right, that is all I have for today's session, and I will see you tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to see you in the second session for Blueprint 2 books. All right, bye-bye for now.